Good morning. I'm just going to wait a moment for the live stream to catch up. Good morning. Welcome to Matt Davis Reads the Newspaper so that you don't have to. I've been perspiring on your behalf this morning. I wonder if you can guess where I am. The New York Times headlines this morning. Firstly, it's good to see a slightly smaller font for the tariff disaster. It turns out that the Chinese tariff war is probably going to cause major problems for all of us. But not to worry, it's a small font. The big one to read today is about how the Supreme Court has ruled against the Trump administration over the illegal deportation of a man to El Salvador. Initially, the Trump administration flew this guy to El Salvador, despite a judge having ordered in 2019 that he shouldn't go. The judge ordered he shouldn't go because he might face torture or violence in El Salvador, which are pretty good reasons not to deport someone to a country. But recently, the judge was absolutely dumbfounded by the fact that the Trump administration had sent him to El Salvador. Anyway, they allege that he is a member of a criminal gang in New York, even though he's never been to New York. And so it's kind of interesting because, is a man really a member of a gang based on the fact that he's wearing a certain baseball cap, wearing a hoodie, or an anonymous tip from somebody unnamed? That's the reasons the Trump administration gave for his membership of this alleged gang. The man's attorneys have said all along this is a Kafkaesque mistake by the Trump administration, and judges have been pretty up in arms about it. They've said it shocks the conscience and it's unbelievable. So, not great. And I would say that, some of the quotes from the judges are worth having a little look at. It's a grievous error, shocks the conscience. This man's lived freely in the United States for years, yet it's never been charged with a crime. The government's contention that he has suddenly morphed into a dangerous criminal, into a dangerous threat to the Republic is not credible. Now, the problem is that the Supreme Court can rule against them having done it, and they can say that they want the US to facilitate and effectuate the return of this man. But the problem is, there's nothing you can do. Once a guy's in El Salvador, we don't have legal jurisdiction over El Salvador. And so this man is now suffering in a foreign country because we illegally deported him. I would not want to be that guy. On the other hand, I'm not a brown immigrant. What's really going on is a racist effort to show immigrants all across the country that they're not welcome. The Trump administration also plans to seize social security numbers now from migrants in an effort to force them to self-deport. Because obviously if you don't have a social security number, you can't pay tax, you can't be a member of society really in the US. And it's another way of ratcheting up the pressure. I'm not surprised that Trump administration kind of pushed that forward yesterday because, as we can all see, the effects of the tariffs are disastrous. The loss of China as an export market will deal a particularly hard economic blow to agricultural workers in many red states, hitting many of the voters who helped Mr. Trump get elected. So the China trade war really hurts farmers. They're the people who export to China. Farmers all vote Republican in rural states. And so we have this situation where, unless it's cleared up quickly, the China trade war is going to cost the Republican Party dearly in the midterms, assuming, of course, that the voters pay attention to anything, which they do. But it's a long way off, right? It's 2026 and it's April 2025. By then, presumably the country will be great again. I hope you have a good weekend. It's been exhausting this week, reading the news. I really am struck by the fact that reading the newspaper is completely exhausting. And I wish you a pleasant and restful weekend. I'll probably do the newsletter over the next 2 days, but I won't be appearing in person. That's my little gift to myself over the weekend. Just give myself time off the video. It's a pleasure doing this for you. A pleasant act of service for the global community of newspaper readers. My name's Matt Davis. I've been reading the newspaper so that you don't have to.